Yeah, I've been here since the beginning, since we founded Mesa in May of 2014. There was 5 of us originally. We knew each other from the Army National Guard.
As I remember it, there was all of us, the 3 or 4 of us that started pretty much the same time.
I didn't know everybody. I knew Scott Gromer, our CEO. I knew him. Didn't know him well. We had a professional working relationship, and that's about it. But his reputation was good. Army National Guard's a fairly small community. And about a year before I was going to retire, I had reached out to him because I didn't know what I was going to do when I retired from the Army. I didn't have a good plan. I didn't hear from him for a year. And about the time I was getting ready to retire, I got an email saying, hey, we're talking about starting a company, so we should get together and talk about it. So that's really what kicked it off. My wife and I drove up to Casper, met with Scott and his wife. They filled us in on what the business was going to be. And I didn't know anything about oil and gas. I didn't know anything about generators and electricity and things like that. So it was a pretty steep learning curve at first. Starting a company was challenging, as it always is.
Didn't really know what that first day looked like, but we did have some units. Didn't have any other procedures or anything. We didn't have people, vehicles, parts. So, those first couple months were, trying to figure out what we were going to do, how we were going to do it, hiring people, putting generators on rent. It was quite challenging. And on top of that, already having units and having some on rent, trying to maintain that operation in the field and stand up our operations.
All the administrative functions that we didn't know, we didn't have.
To think back that far is pretty crazy, how we grew so fast. Sometimes you think it was simpler because everybody, us 5 or 6 of us knew everything about the company, what was going on.
We probably knew every single person, regardless of where in the company they were at. We knew every person. You talk about what we built. We didn't build this, right? We might have started it, but we didn't build it. All those guys working out there, all those are the guys that actually built it. When you get a chance, take a look at some of the pictures on the wall in here of units that are deployed out in the field. You'll see in some of them where there's more than one generator sitting out there. They're all lined up. There's pictures of 5, 6, 8, 10 of them. And they're all perfectly lined up in a row. And all their cables are, all dressed and orderly. And well, we came from a military background, but the guys who started doing that didn't. They did that on their own.
I saw some of our other competitors out there with their generators placed just kind of wherever they parked them, and I didn't like it. As soon as I pulled on the location, it looked ugly to me, and I wanted Mesa to stand out. And I know if I noticed it, operators would notice it also. So came up with the way we were going to set up locations, and we were going to continue to keep it that way.
We're Mesa. We have a thing about our Mesa standard. Mesa standard is up here. Everybody else is here. Mesa standard, we make them do this. Mesa standard, do it with me now. Mesa standard's here, everybody else is here. And they did that on their own. They lined those things up perfectly on an oil field location because, well, we made a big deal out of how your uniform looks in the morning. When we started, we were hoping we survived the first downturn. That first winter was killer. And 2015 went from $100 oil to $30 oil, and we were like, did we make the right decision getting involved in this company? But we're fighters, we're scrappers, and we're not gonna just take it sitting down.
Our very first winter was rough, specifically here in Wyoming and in North Dakota, but we had most of our units then were in Wyoming. That first winter will always stick in my mind because it was a rough couple weeks.
Well, those were some long work hours.
We struggled the first couple of weeks, but we kept everything running. We learned from it. We made changes on the fly so we could run in the cold weather. And to date, our equipment, we can run in 100-degree weather or 20 below and not make any changes.
We were cutting foam insulation board to put around the radiators, all kinds of weird crap just to make them run.
Yeah, and that was right before the downturn.
Yeah,
oil was high, so it was a nasty winter, and the You know, the customers still wanted to be able to pump oil, and that'll always stick in my mind for sure.